I'll be going over the quickest and cheapest way to effectively raise a character. That way you can get the most potential out of your character at every level. Hi, I'm Uvi, and if you like this kind of content, please like this video and consider subscribing. It really helps me out as a small creator. Anyways, let's get into it. If you're new to the Genshin character system, it can seem confusing and overwhelming at first, but I'll break it down easy for you. Basically, you'll want to put your focus on Ascension and talent leveling first. This is important because if you waste time farming for artifacts and never getting the right ones, you've used up all your resin and your character still sucks. So, with this method, you'll want to max out your talents with every Ascension. And once your character is level 81 and the talents are leveled, then you should work on farming artifacts. So, if you're new to Genshin or just want a more detailed explanation of what I mean, keep watching. I'll break down every step for you. Oh, and please don't forget to like this video and subscribe to my channel. Anyway, let's start with the Ascension. First thing you want to level up is their main level. This is in the attributes section, and this is the general overall level of the character. There's a lot of stuff here, but we're just focusing on leveling them up right now. So the leveling up process is pretty easy to understand. Use XP, which is Hero's Wit, Wanderer's Advice, and ascending by using the required materials. Every character will require different materials. Some of the materials you can find in the open world without using resin. However, some materials are from world bosses that require 40 resin to collect. Just keep leveling and ascending the character to 90. By ascending the character, this will unlock talents, which is the main point of this whole video. Once you are able to level up the talents, you're going to do only that. Don't worry about artifacts, we will get there, I promise. Talents. These are the specific attacks or abilities your character has. There are 3 talents you can level up: the normal attack, the elemental attack, and the ultimate attack. Depending on the character, you'll want to focus on a specific talent or 2 to level up to 9. Usually you can get away with having 2 talents at 8 or 9 and the other one at 4 or 6. My advice is to look at the talent description to determine which order to level them up. And if you don't really understand the description, you can always look up the character builds online to find which talents to level first. For example, my Kokomi is at 6, 9, and 9. And if you look at my Ayato, he's at 9, 9, and 7. So it really just depends on what their talents do. Take Xiao, for example. His ultimate is essentially a burst mode, which turns his normal attacks into anemo damage. So you'll want to max out his ultimate as well as his normal attack. And while his elemental attack is good, you don't really use it as often, so you can leave that one a lot lower level than the other 2. If you're still having trouble figuring out which talents to level first, you can always click on the talent reference button, and it will show you the recommended talent upgrade. Upgrading talents will also take materials. However, these materials are harder to come by. Talent book domains are only open to 1 book type a day, except for on Sundays, so you can only farm that character's talent books twice a week. You will also need weekly boss drops, and you can only do 3 bosses every week. The most efficient way to do this is to use your resin on the talent book domain twice a week, fight your 1 weekly boss, and then use the rest of the resin to farm the world boss and weapon materials. Yes, weapon materials. You should be leveling your weapon at this time too. And here's a little extra tip. If you put vegetables or fruits into the paramedic transformer, it will give you talent books and character XP. And if you put ore and weapon materials in it, it will give you weapon XP and character ascension materials. You'll get enough world boss materials before you get the other stuff. So once you're done farming the world boss, you'll want to farm the ley lines for Hero Wit now. Is this getting confusing yet? Don't worry, it'll get easier. So your character is now ascended to level 90. You could even get away with just doing the last ascension and keeping them at 81. Now you want to make sure your 2 good talents are at 9. And if you want to get real sweaty here, you can grind it out and level all 3 talents to level 9. And if you're a sweaty whale, then you can grind it out, throw some bands, to crown your talents. Okay, but if you're not a tryhard, having 2 talents at level 8 to 9 is perfectly fine. Okay, so now the fun stuff comes in. You thought grinding the world boss was emotional damage? Wait till you experience the artifact domains. Alright, so each artifact set is built different. A set can be either 2 artifacts or 4 artifacts. Usually the 4-piece will have a better ability or effect. You can even use 2 different 2-piece sets. Like on Shinha, I have a 2-piece Gladiator set and a 2-piece Shiminawa set on her. Both 2-piece sets grant an 18% attack, so with both of them together, she gets 36% attack. Artifact domains drop 2 different sets. However, it's all RNG, so you don't know what artifact you're gonna get. My advice here is to run your domains until you get some okay ones to use as placeholders. And just keep running the domain until you get the perfect artifacts. Hopefully. Once you get some artifacts you're happy with, I recommend leveling them up in order of main stats. For example, Diluc relies on his pyro attacks, so the first artifact I'm going to level is going to be his pyro damage bonus. This way you can get the most potential even if the rest of your artifacts are at 0. You've made it to the end. You've ascended your character to 90, raised their talents to 9, and now you've got a good set of artifacts. Time to take on the abyss so you can make more wishes. Or raise another character, perhaps? Comment below if this helped or if you have any other advice for beginners. If you enjoyed this video, please give a like and consider subscribing. It really helps me out as I'm learning how to make video content. And thank you so much for watching.